Welcome back, design students. I know I said in the last video we're going to go ahead and put a texture on this thing, but I forgot that we have to sculpt it and make some of those sort of random flat places that oranges have. And we're going to do that using the freeform push-pull tool, which is right here. And we did this with our apple. So I'm going to make the brush quite large, maybe 50. No, that's too much. Your size may be different. And I'm going to knock the strength down by 0.5. And let's see what kind of effect that has. Remember to hold down Shift if you want to push it in, and to pull it out, hold down. You don't have to hold down Shift. Okay, that didn't take very long. You don't want it to look rotten, like I said. You just want it to look not quite so perfectly round. Okay, let's exit this tool. Let's turn it off, and let's create a material. Remember, this is going to be a physical material. And we have an orange texture in the folder that we created for our apples. If you don't have one, you can simply just go find one on the internet. This is going to have a albedo map, which is the color, and a normal map, which is going to give it some depth and some texture. So let's put that one on. Now, to use the normal map, let's go ahead and apply this to our orange. To use the normal map, we need to connect it to what's called the bump node, which is here. To use a normal map on the bump node, we need to use an intermediary map called a normal bump map. And this allows us to use a normal map on the bump node. Now we can go find a bitmap, and the orange peel normal map is this sort of purple one. And now let's create a texture or a material for the little stem thing that we have on the top. Drag out a new material, go to General, Bitmap, and grab one of those bark textures that we were using. And then let's apply that to the little stem thing that we've created on the top there. Now that's not going to look right because we need to put a UVW map on it. So go ahead and select it. Bring down your modifier list and find UVW map. And I think the planar map looks just fine. So we can just leave that. And that looks pretty orangey. Let's see what it looks like on the bottom. So let's go ahead and set up some quick lighting for this so we can turn in a nice render. Let's switch to the left viewport and go to the Create tab, go to Shapes, select Line, and then remember you're going to create a line here. If you hold down Shift, you'll create a straight line. And then click and continue to hold down Shift and create another line so you have this L shape. And then let's go to the Modify tab and grab this corner vertex here and fillet it so we get a nice curve like so. And let's go ahead and make sure that the orange is sitting on the ground. I'm going to move the backdrop down. And then let's switch to the front viewport and drag this line over. Go to the modifier list and select Extrude and extrude that out to the other side. And then let's switch to the perspective view. And as you can see, this is backwards. The normals need to be flipped. Now what we've done in the past to reverse that line is that we have converted this to an editable poly and flipped the normals. There's another way to do it, and I want to make sure you're aware of it, so I want to show this to you. If we go down to the line object, open it up and select spline, then there is a button in here that will reverse the direction of the line. And then if we click that and go back, you'll see that we have now flipped the normals. So let's create a quick material for our backdrop. And I'm going to go ahead and zero out the reflections and make the roughness 1. And then let's return to the front viewport and go to the Create tab, select Light, switch to Arnold, and turn that on. And let's just drag a target light down. And then let's go to the Modify tab and leave it as a quad light, but we're going to change the X quad somewhat. Let's look at it in the top viewport. And then let's change the Y quad somewhat as well. Size does matter with these lights, and so it's important to increase that. Now let's turn on Active Shade. And we need to zoom in a little bit. And I can see right away that I need to change to the hierarchy view. I'm going to select my light, go to the Modify tab, look at its settings. I can see right away that I need to change the density of that shadow. And I want to work on the intensity, but I need to turn off edged faces. Now the orange is too shiny, so let's work on that for a second. Bring up your material editor, find the orange material, and then let's dial down the reflectiveness a little bit and increase the roughness just a bit. Oranges are pretty shiny, and you can see right away here, if you look at the orange skin, you can see the little dimples in it. That's what the normal map does for us. Without the normal map, that would just be flat. In fact, I can show you what that would look like. And you can see right away, it's a huge difference. So let's close that and look at the top of our orange. And that doesn't look terribly good, so let's see if we can put a UVW map on there and see if that will help. Let's try a spherical map. So that looks better, but I don't love the way it looks in the top. That just may be unavoidable. We need to make sure that the UVW map is facing in the correct direction. This little mark on the top shows us that it is indeed right side up. If yours is not, then you need to open up the map, select the gizmo, and rotate it so that that little mark is facing up. We can see if it looks any better by turning the map on and off, and you can see that it does indeed look better. Now that we've got this done, we need to put an edit poly at the top of the stack, and then we need to select the little stem object and change its reflectiveness and its smoothness as well. You can zero that out and make the roughness 1. Okay, so to turn this in, I want you to turn off Active Shade. Get a nice camera angle of your orange. And you can go to rendering, click render, and let it finish rendering, and then save the image and put it in your ArtStation portfolio as part of the Still Life project. Make sure to choose JPEG, and then you can upload it. Hope you enjoyed this series of tutorials, and I'll see you in the next one.